Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, my name is Kurnia Putri. Today I would like to present my topic about meeting management tips. How to run an effective meetings. Meetings let you use one-on-one discussions, small group activities, and facilitated discussion to make sure everyone's ideas get heard before the group settles on a final idea or strategy, and they can even drive your rewards and recognition strategy. This is known as one-to-all technique, and it's only one of many strategies in which changing the physical arrangement of bodies in the room focuses team members' mind in different ways. Meetings also let you build relationships in a way that you can only do in person. Making meetings meaningful when you need them to be at the table mentally as well as physically, you need to run meetings that feel purposeful and productive. Here's an effective meeting strategy that can help you get there. First is schedule it at the right time. Second is create an agenda. Third is read through materials and hash out issues beforehand. Fourth is come together with a ritual. Fifth is stick to the agenda. Sixth is embrace labeling. Seventh is clarify your decision-making procedure. Next is close with action item and communicate them clearly. And the last is solicit feedback for the next meeting. First is schedule it at the right time. There are right and wrong times for meetings. Some bad times are obvious. Friday at 4:30 p.m. For example, take Monday morning. Research shows that it's the worst time to have a meeting, despite the fact that is so common. It makes sense at first glance. Get everyone together and set the tone for the week. The problem is that people have more work energy on Monday morning, having rest through the weekend. It's also a common day for employees to be out. Second is create an agenda. If you don't know where your meeting is going, it can easily go off track. Fortunately, you can fix this easily by creating an agenda that tells people what they're going to do and when. For example, first is attendees share why the choice of vendor matters to his or her department for 10 minutes. Second is brainstorm 3 pros and 3 cons for vendor X and vendor Y to 20 minutes. And the third is come to a 60% majority on a vendor decision or set a date for a final vote for 10 minutes. Notice that all 3 of these action items are SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. Next is read through materials and hash out issues beforehand. A meeting is not place for a read aloud or lecture. If you have information to share with a team before the meeting itself, send the relevant document out with the agenda and have people read them independently. Preliminary discussion can also happen out of the meeting room. The further apart people are on an issue, that longer there will debate. So don't hold the meeting until all team members are on the same page or close to it. Before you schedule a meeting that involves a big decision, check in with attendees. If there are significant disagreement, address them before the big group has to sit down together. Fourth is come together with a ritual. If you start your meeting with a particular group activity every time, you can help your team to bond while reinforcing company culture. Be sure to pick one that suits your team working style. Icebreakers, for example, are great for some teams but aren't everyone's cup of tea. You know your team best, so maybe this group games will be just right. Next is stick to the agenda. Whether you use chair or not, staying on task is an essential part of pain-free meetings. Nothing frustrates busy team members like a tangent, and it's easy to go off on one if someone not keeping track. A general rule of thumb: if your agenda says you should be discussing topic A for 15 minutes, you should then move on to the next action item until you've reached a resolution for 15 minutes have passed, whichever comes first. 6 is embrace tabling. Things come up in meeting and you won't always be able to touch on them at that point. It happens often. There's a reason why there are so many terms for it. Tabling, parking, putting a pin in it. Your team may have another term, but the idea is the same. If 2 or more people need to talk about an issue that relates to the topic but doesn't involve everyone in the group, put it aside and let that subgroup about it outside of the meeting. 7 is clarify your decision-making procedure. You don't want to spend a valuable meeting time debating when the group can consider a decision to be final. Before the meeting starts, decide to tell your team how you're going to settle things. There are 3 common options. First is leader choice, second is majority rule, and the last is consensus. No single decision-making model is better than the rest, but some are better fit ways for certain teams and or situation. Figure out what will suit your purposes best, then let everyone know well in advance of the meeting. 8 is close with action items and communicate them clearly. Team members should have the meeting knowing 2 things. First is what was accomplished and the meeting, and the second is their individual action item. Make sure that the action items are specific and time limited. You don't have to have everyone action item be due at the next meeting, but it can be a good way to keep things consistent if it works for your project. After the meeting, consider sending out an email or group chat blast with everyone action item and due dates. This keeps people from forgetting what they had to do and hold each individual accountable to the group. Also, that message creates an opportunity for people to email you afterward with questions that they forgot to ask or didn't know they had. And the last is solicit feedback for the next meeting. You wouldn't realize a product without finding out what your customer think of the first one. So why would you schedule a meeting without knowing if the last one worked for everyone? Consider reaching out to your team soon after the meeting ends and finding out what they took away from it. You want your survey to have reasonable length, so think about what you most need to know. Maybe you want team members stroke on first duration and pace on the meeting. Second is agenda item. Third is quality of discussion, did every feel heard, and the last is and the result. Was the meeting useful to the people? Make sure that you follow up with people if you get feedback that particularly specific or thought-provoking. And if someone seems very unhappy, check in with them. You want to everyone to feel heard. And the last is thank you for your attention and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.